What is going on, guys? Welcome back. Commentary for you. If yesterday's video did not seal the deal with my incompetence as an investor, then this one certainly will. But I think it's important that we talk about mistakes that we make and why we made mistakes. And this one actually still hurts me a little bit because Vector Group was going to be my retirement. I literally thought that this stock was going to be something I was set for life with. Now, as a rule of thumb, I try not to put more than, say, $150 into initial position. As you can see, $11.63. I was right at $100. Currently, they're at $12.75. But I want you to look at that giant dip the middle of last month. And I want to talk to you about that dip and my feelings the time that came. Because it was a scary moment, even with $100. Because the first thing I could think of is, what if it's $1,000? What if it's $10,000? You're losing $2 per share, a substantial amount of money. What made me want to invest in Vector Group to begin with? Well, number one, that 12% dividend was a really, really appealing part of this. Now, for those that will say 12% dividends aren't realistic, this is a company that deals with real estate and tobacco, two things I know firsthand are going to be around for a very long time. I should have paid more attention to that payout ratio, but I didn't, and I'll show you why I didn't. Because I looked at the dividend growth of the past 2 years and I said to myself, this company has literally a dividend growth history of 20 years. How in the world would they stop now in the first 6 months that I invest in them? But that is exactly what happened. On what will be my third and fourth dividend payments from Vector Group, it will be their last dividend payments because they cut the dividend in half and then they ceased the dividend in 2020. Now, the reason I say this was so tough for me is because I really thought I had found this gem. I thought I found a stock that was going to pay me for the next 20 years. And I had to come to the realization that I didn't. And I'm so glad that I learned the lessons from Vector Group about two things. Number one, part of me wanted to panic sell the day that it dropped. Part of me thought to myself, this is only going to get worse. It literally dropped during a market close, maybe $2 to $3 per share. Let me get out now. Let me cut my losses. But then I thought to myself, you know what? How bad can it get? I'm already in this. I've already put in the money. Let me get my dividend payments. Maybe it'll balance out. Maybe I won't lose by so much. I would have never thought that a month later I'd be up. And now there's part of me that says, even though I'm a dividend investor, why don't I stay invested in this? Because to be honest with you, when they're not paying out all that money, they're probably making money. And their company is going to grow. And maybe it's something I want to keep in my portfolio. But if I'd made the harsh decision to leave the moment things got bad, which is easy to do in the heat of the moment, in the emotion of the moment, when my golden goose, right, is actually made of bronze, then I would have had two things happen. Number one, I would have guaranteed myself a loss. And number two, I would have guaranteed to not learn this lesson about holding onto a stock. And those are two things that I'm very glad that I did, because to be fair, I can sit here and talk to you guys about it and have firsthand experience. Things went from really bad to really good in the course of a month. And in a lot of ways, that is the stock market and investing in a nutshell. Things can go from really bad to really good, but things can also go from really good to really bad. And this stock kind of showed me that in a very short time frame with, luckily, not a loss of money. And that will not always be the case. Appreciate you guys checking this out. I will be back in the week with more commentary.